application. So we are starting from here. So this is a Borg ERP website. So if you want to log in any of the module, and so you have to open the borgerp.com. Then this is a integrated application, as we all know, because we are working from long time back. Actually, we all who are connected with us. So this is the integrated module. So integrated module means there are several modules integrated to each other and accessible through single interface, right? So Borg has 6 modules so far and accessible through single interface. Single interface means single login window, and they are interconnected with each other when it is required. So I'm clicking on login, then I'll use my login credentials. So here today I'm using demo account for understanding. I'll put my user ID and I'll put my password. Then I click on sign in. Once I'll click on sign in, it will just take me into inside the Borg. Now you can see there are multiple modules over there. First one is marketing and sales. Second, accounts book. Third, service desk. Fourth, inventory and SCM. And fifth, human resource. And the last one is task force. So there are 6 modules. So if I want to work with any of the modules, so I'll have to go into that module. So here, once we log in, so we have landed into admin dashboard. Admin dashboard means here you can manage your entire masters. Entire masters uh, means you can manage your all your customers. You can manage your entire team member logins, means user accounts in Borg terminology. Then you can also view the structure based on the reporting. You can also manage your distributor. You can also manage the access privilege level. You can also manage your vendors. You can manage your services and departments. So there are so many the masters over here. And if I'll go to for example module settings, so all type of module settings are there. So this is a completely master. So when we log in into the Borg ERPs, and it will take us into the the Borg admin dashboard, and where we can manage the entire masters. Now if I want to go to the specific module, so I'll click on that module. Today we are just covering the service desk, so I'll click on service desk first. When I'll click on service desk, so only the service desk related option would be visible for me to here. Now, so actually, before moving to the service desk module in detail, first we'd like to know, for example, you are new to Borg, then how you will start your setup and using the module. So first you have to complete the settings. Settings means the module settings. So first of all, you'll have to have privilege first of all. So you'll have to provide privilege to your all users belonging to your service desk. So I'll go to I'll have click on Borg, then I'll will land into the Borg admin dash. Now I'll go to the set user privileges. Once I'll go to, then it will ask 3 type of privileges defined here. One is module access. So I'll have to tick mark against those user IDs whom we want to give the access for this particular module. So here SD means the service desk. So if you are not remembering what SD is, so here in the bottom the abbreviation is written there, already has been given, right? So it's SD means support desk or service desk. M and S means marketing and sales. So you can also take difference from here. So you'll have to click on the relevant module whom you want to provide access. For example, in this case, Meenakshi is there. I want to provide the access of service desk module to the Meenakshi. Then I'll have to click on that. if I want to disable the access of service desk module for Meenakshi, then I'll have to uncheck. And if I'm just clicking any modification, means I'm just either checking or unchecking, so I'll have to click on update. Correct. So if Meenakshi wants to have access of service desk modules, then I'll have to put a check mark. Then I'll have to click on update. So once I'll click on update, so Meenakshi would be able to access that particular module, service desk module. Correct. So first, the admin has to decide whom to provide what module access. Now the second thing is that there are some other certain settings, that is we call it module settings. Module setting means it enables some notifications, some alerts, or some kind of other settings in case of service desk. For example, there are six modules, or six type of service, six types of settings are available. Okay, so if I'm just clicking on service desk means here having five or six type of settings. For example, email alert settings and SMS alert settings. The email alert setting means if you are activating this setting, so some kind of notifications are enabled for customers or for team members, so or the management also. So in that case, they would be receiving when that alert would be triggered. The same way, if you want to activate the SMS settings, then you have to click on activate, and again you have to update on the bottom. These are a sender name, or these are designated mobile number for receiving open ticket alert. So this is a sender name. For example, you are enabling email. So this is a sender name, means if any alert is going to any recipient, so they will receive this sender name, service desk or support desk, or whatever you want to have in your organization. Second one is if designated mobile number for MC expiry. Here it means if we if any AMC means annual maintenance contract is going to expire, so it will notify to the customers the 15 before the 15 days expiry of that account, thrice or four times. Apart from that, the Borg also notify to any designated number in the organization that these and contacts are being expired. So you can be also alert that whom to contact and when to contact. So this is our mobile number to send a notification SMS to the organization, designated organization person, right? So you can appoint any person, and you can update the mobile number, so that designated person can receive alert, SMS alert, in case of any AMC contact are being expired. Now second option is designated mobile number for receiving open ticket. In this case, there's another option. uh, for example, there are two types when the ticket can be opened. So one is we advised customers to open ticket. Correct. uh, support customer, service customer. In case customers not opening the ticket, or they're not in the position of opening ticket, or they're not that much tech savvy, so you can also designate any person from your service team. They can open ticket on behalf of your customer. So in that case, in the previous case, so when the customer is opening the ticket, so what will happen, you can appoint or designate any person, service person, that if any ticket is being opened from the customer side, so that that guy will receive one SMS alert, so that that ticket can be entertained, because that ticket may be of critical or high priority. So based on your the severity level or AMC agreement, so you can uh, entertain the ticket accordingly. So this is a basically notification. The same way, the emails also there. And this is a customer support dash panel. So if you want to give the white label to the support customer, so you also can, but that is a different thing, that is a customized thing. Okay, so these are settings. So here number one, admin has to provide access of respective team member of support desk or support team. And another thing is that then admin has to activate or deactivate these module setting as per the organization's requirement. Now come to the service desk. Okay, so uh, everybody is listening, or they are with me, or not able to understand anything? So if you are just
Understanding.
understanding, please reply in a yes, so that I can also get some energy from you people, right? So keep sending some chats, or if you are having any questions, so you can also put on chat, or you can write down, and we'll have the Q&A session end of this knowledge transfer. Then we can discuss. Great. Now I'm just moving to the service desk. Service desk module. Basically, actually, now question is that who can use the service desk module of Borg ERP? So in one line, if we explain, so organizations who are in B2B, means business to business service providing, so they can use the service desk module. In fact, that is very much required for them if they are not using. And now let us explore then how it is beneficial for them, and how, if they are going to implement, and how they can implement. So here in the side menu navigation bar, you can see here, number one is service dashboard. So we are in right now service dashboard. So here some recent news, means if you as a organization, if you are using our service desk for your customer, so you can update you can update some news, or some many the good news for your customers, or any alert, or any notification, or any information you want to pass them. So you can update here from the admin, right? I'll let you know how to do this. Apart from that apart from that, here in the right side, recent help desk tickets would be accessible. So this is a shortcut, you can say. So you can also go to the service tickets from here, or and thereafter I'll move to the you know another option. Then second one is open service desk. Okay, open service desk means opens or new ticket, sorry. So open new ticket means when uh, you are interacting with your customer, right? Or customers, yeah, any customer is interacting with you, for example. So in case you don't have service desk in place, what happens? Customer generally either make a call to a person. You can say some company can appoint the account manager or center point of contact for them. Then they will make a call, or they will send an email, or they may also can send an email to the service desk email ID. What will happen? Then support desk, whenever they notify that they have received any call or SMS, so they will act upon that. Then they will coordinate with the customer, and customer will coordinate with the support desk team. uh, and ultimately what will happen, uh, there are two chances whether that issue what customer is encountering, so that may get solved, or that the issue may remain actually there. So there are two options. But thing is that what is happening, uh, the from the point when the call is being received by the support desk from the customer, or mail is received from the customer. So whatever is happening, so is any option to track these all things? So that's a big question, number one. Number two, whether your customers are satisfied whatever the solution has been given by the team. Okay. So if I'm organization or I'm a decision maker, so this is a big question mark for me. Whatever interaction is being done, so whether that is being done in the right direction, or that is being done with the right person at the customer location, or that is being done in the right time or not. So that's a big question mark in organization. So what will happen? uh, the question, the questions always remains unanswered. Most of the question from the support team to the you know customer. In fact, uh, I'm not saying that support team does not work, but support team is also unable to track themselves. They don't have any SOP in place, standard operating system. They don't know uh, how they should react, whom they should react, and where to start, how to end, and how they can measure the customer satisfaction. They don't have any system in place. So this is a, not mistakes or carelessly of the team. This is basically lacking of system. So if system is there, then definitely every team member is bound to follow, and definitely the management or supervisor or manager, based on the hierarchy of the organization, they can track. Okay, they can track, and they can observe whether their team is serving their customer up to the mark or not, and customers are getting satisfied or not. Then what happened generally, if service desk is the application is not there, so there are so many mess ups gets created. So I'm having a lot of stories from my customer side. I'll share some stories later. Just we need to move on right now because we have so many things to explain. Now, this, for example, as I explained earlier, there are two options to open a ticket. One is uh, any organization can give access to the dashboard, customer dashboard, to their customer, and Borg does not charge for them. If any organization has thousands or lakhs of customer, that organization can give the login dashboard to their customer, but without any charges. Number one. So of course, the board recommend that the company must give or share the user ID password for the customer, so that they can open the ticket, they can update the ticket, or they can track the ticket. Second option, if for example, because every organization has different kind of customers, some of them may or may not be interested to operate your service desk. Maybe they might be thinking they don't have time, or they are not that much tech savvy. So there may be a various reason, in fact a valid reason. So in that case, BOR also supports for those kind of customers and allow the organization's support team to open ticket on behalf of that customer. So in both the cases right now, just I'm just trying to explain the process. Okay. So I'm just taking from here. So I'm not logging into the customer dashboard in here, but I'm just trying to transfer the knowledge how to open the ticket. So I'll click on open new ticket. Open new ticket. If I'll go to, there is a form. Okay. I think everybody must understand this thing. So there is a subject. Okay. Then customer name, whom we want to open a ticket. Then these are departments. So these departments are not static. So that can be customized organization to organization, and the company admin can customize these things. So in the type means when we start this implementing this one. So in the beginning, we we just we have to set up these all departments as per the requirement of the organization. These also product category or service category, these also need to be set up by the time of beginning, and the respective for example, cloud services. So there is some certain service under that category. CPU testing one, Tally on cloud, that may be anything. So here we have put for the example, correct? Now I'll have to I'll have to select the priority level. Okay, priority level, actually that depends on the definition of the priority level, depends on the impact, financial impact due to that issue which has been created, right? uh, uh, so for example, I'm taking example of IT support team. For example, your company's deals in IT support, so you are providing some servers, some PCs, some laptops to your customer, and you have the service contract with them. In that case, if I know one single laptop is down, and it means that that does not have that much financial impact due to damage of the laptop. So in that case, that ticket can be put in the very low or low priority. For example, that laptop is belonging to the MD of the organization. In that case, if MD is not able to work for a 1 hour or 2 hour, that may be the highly financial impact due to that issue. So in that case, the ticket can be put in the high or critical priority or medium priority based on the financial impact. So that's the example I have given. For example, in any company, then that company whom you are providing services or servers or PC, that particular server is down. If server is down, so if that server may cause entire company network damage. In that case, that must be in critical priority, because that's attracting more financial impact. So based on the financial impact, the organization can define, their priority definition, and share with the customer. So select the priority one if you want to open in the ticket. Okay. So now put all description issues here. So if in case if customer is doing the same kind of box is there. Okay, and if any attachment there, if service organization, any screenshot or something supporting documents you want to upload, so you can upload from here, from the choose file. When you click on create, okay, what will happen? For example, let me create one. Test support ticket one. Then, for example, just let me take the company AllySoft. Then maybe for example, the customer may have some accounting issues, billing issues. So I can select the services. Okay, I can select the Tally on cloud. You are a Tally provider, Tally service provider, you have some problem, and that may have a medium priority, based on the financial impact. So I can put here for the I can write a mail on behalf of customer or something like that. Okay, so we can write here, dear, okay, sir or madam, whatever is there. Dear sir, madam, then we are facing issue in our server room. Okay, server is not functioning well. Okay, for example, you can write down here, you can put a signature if you want. Okay, regards. Okay, whatever your name is, for example, in my case, okay, and I click on create. Now support ticket is open for that customer. Okay, yeah. So once you create a support ticket, then here AllySoft one, for the AllySoft, then it will be listed here. Now what will happen? The respective person will uh, entertain this ticket. Then first of all, I'll have to click on here. Okay. Then here, this is the entire ticket detail is there. From the top, here from the left, we can say ticket ID. Okay, ticket, this is a ticket number. Allies shop company name. Here, tally on cloud service name, then generated on, add on, who was generated, ticket priority, and the ticket status. Each and everything is open right now. Then below that, ticket status. So ticket is, there are several ticket status. So you, based on the requirement, you can, the change the status of ticket, and you can, for example, customer is creating this ticket, so they may put some wrong priority, uh, so you can also change the priority as per the requirement or as per the need of your organization, as per your organization definitions. Now here the, here also priority is there. If you want to change, I can change from here also. And whatever ticket, whatever has been written from the client side or our team support team side, when at the time of opening the ticket, generating ticket, it's there. So entire history of the conversation will be getting piled up over here. And for example, that ticket may actually cover a lot of interaction. So what happened in case of mail, you can't track anything, but here you can track whom, you open this window and you can track how many interaction and who are involved in ticket since the beginning, who has replied this ticket. Okay, Rahul has replied ticket, and this which department is, ticket is open when the reply was given, then priority in B medium. In that case, you can do this one. Now go to the assign. For example, we have opened a ticket, if you remember, for the account department, but that issue may or may not belong to that account department, so we can change the department also. Correct, number one. So we have to understand the escalation matrix. So there are escalation matrix. One is department wise. Okay, they are vertical, and second one is level. So for example, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. There are 4 level in this Borg. Okay. Now in the 4 level, so each level, all 4 level belongs to each department. For example, accounts or service. So we'll take example of service department. So first ticket will be received by help desk or level 1, and then the ticket can, if the issue can be solved by level 1, so that can be done, it's okay. And we can wait for the customer reply with the status whether ticket has been solved or not. Okay, up to the mark. Then thereafter, if customer is happy, the customer himself can close the ticket, or your team can close the ticket. If for example that issue what has been raised, that may not in the scope of level 1, so that ticket can be escalated to level 2, level 2 of service department. Okay, then level 3 of service department, level 4 of service department. Okay, if that ticket belongs to service department, if that ticket is belonging to the account department, that also can be escalate with the level. So this is a matrix. Okay, so here if I'll how to assign. So if I'm clicking here, for example, service department, so all level in the service department are listed here. So I can choose any of them. For example, I want to assign that ticket, okay, or to level 1 itself. So all persons who are in service department level 1 will be listed here. Here none of are coming. It means that no person available here in this demo account in service level 1. Similarly, if you want to assign to another departments on other level, so you can choose as per your requirement. Okay, and all history of assignments and all, it will come here. Now attachment option. Attachment means whatever attachment has been done, at the time of opening the ticket or updating the ticket, so that will be listed here. All attachment will be listed here. Now, what we can do, for example, I want to update this ticket. Okay, so I'll come to the detail and I can update here. Dear sir, okay, whatever I want to put, okay, a dear customer or dear client, okay, our team is working on the issue and will update once done. Or we can also write down, or we will share progress of the ticket. Okay, and we can put regards or thanks, whatever you want to write here. Okay, so in that case, you can write down the respective support team will work on will work on that, and will write down here, will put the update. One thing to be noted here, once I'll click on save, then what will happen? So if I'll click on save, definitely it will come somewhere on top of this ticket history. Number one. Number two, that customer will receive email notification containing this all status update in his or her email ID. Okay, registered email ID. So if customer is not logging into the support desk, still he or she will be aware about the progress of the ticket, and he will keep receiving. So if I'll click on that, so one email will be also go to that Allysoft registered email ID. Okay, and then now you can see earlier the first remarks was this, and the second remarks was this. Now you can see who has replied. I have replied. So demo. Okay, that we have not changed the department, so account it will remain same. Now the customer status is customer pending. Customer pending means the earlier it was open, then customer pending. It means that ticket has been now the pending from the customer side. So if for example you are seeking some update or some information from the customer, so keep it as it is, customer pending. Okay, then once the customer will reply on that particular ticket, then it will get changed automatically. And if for example you have put such kind of update to hold that ticket, for example that issue may last for long and that is not that much high priority issues, and customer, because sometimes customer open the ticket which may or may not be that much relevant to the current working or scenario. In that case, or they may take some advice, some kind of advice. That ticket may be like that, they may seek some advice, some kind of, and your concerned person is not available for those advice. So in that case, you can change the status from here. For example, I want to hold this ticket, so I will click on hold. Now status will be changed hold. Okay, now this ticket status will be hold. Okay, and I also can write down, because here I just wrote here our team working on that. But if I want to hold the ticket, I will not write here. I will put, okay, we are in discussion with our concerned person and we let you know, like that language will be there. And in that case, and after submitting this one, and you also can change the status hold, customer will notify for the same thing, and he will come to know that ticket my request has been put on hold, and accordingly he will deal. If he want to update something, he's open for that. If he want to update anything, so he also can update, and you will be receiving the update of the same. So this is a complete functional of the support ticket. So all history will come here. So do you know how much this is important? Earlier, if borrowed service desk is not there, what will happen? These all communication is happening through either SMS, sometimes in call, sometimes in WhatsApp. Everything is scattered. Actually, nothing is streamlined, and no center information is available. And the management of the company can't ensure the productivity of the support team. They can't ensure the satisfaction level of the support team, no customer, and how they are they are being interacting, and how your support team is dealing with your customer. You don't have anything to track upon, and you may not be available in the office all the time, so it's very much difficult actually to track for the authority or the management of the company, or a manager, supervisor, whoever they are, based on the hierarchy of the company. So this is very much important, right? So this is how ticket can be, you know uh, managed. Now, the ticket also can be filtered or by the supervisor or manager. For example, I want to check the status that, for example, Meenakshi is there. How many tickets are being handled by Meenakshi? So I'll put on search. Only single ticket is handled by. It means that being a manager, supervisor, or management of a company, it means that Meenakshi has and that ticket is also closed. It means that Meenakshi has no open ticket. It means that Meenakshi is free. So but the productivity also can be ensured, or work also can be assigned accordingly and distributed accordingly, because sometimes if we are not in the office, or we are not continuous monitoring, because it's not possible for the management. So sometimes someone is overloaded and someone is free. So that also we have seen in the so many organizations. So work also can be distributed equally, and that can be also managed. Okay, so this is a benefit, and the ticket details also can be downloaded from here. You can see, and now I'm moving ahead. Second option is rapid action chat. Rapid action chat means this comes into the picture when ticket is open. For example, your customer has opened the ticket and having the ticket ID. Okay, so if customer is just dealt with the ticket and all, it means that each and every communication has to be with the reference of ticket ID only. Now, if he has opened a high priority ticket, means urgent priority, or you can say the critical priority. Now, still your support team is not able to notify and the respond in time as it should be. So what customer can do, if you don't have this option, rapid action chat, so again customer has to make a call, whom to call. Either they must place a call on a board, company board number, and they will dial so many extensions. Okay, so it becomes very much actually a frustrating things for the customer to approach the right guy, to search the right guy in the company, to get the problem solved. So in that case, if I'll click on the rapid action chat, so here all companies support executive will be in the in here in the right side, because demo account so it's not there right now. So all people or will be landing here, and it will also show the who is online and who is not online. Okay, so he can click on that particular person, and he can put a ticket detail here. Hey, I have opened a ticket. Okay, and my ticket has not been entertained so far, and I've not received any response from your side, and my ticket is on critical priority. I'm having a lot of financial loss, and everything is down in our company. Please entertain my ticket as soon as possible. So that ticket will be notified to the support team. Okay, and then hopefully your support teams can be active, and customer issues can be entertained or resolved in time. So this is a function of rapid action chat. Okay, the admin also can see. Now question is that who is chatting whom and how it can be more effective in all. So the manager may need to check whether the what kind of chat my team has with the customer and all. So team also can have a chat among them. So in that case, they can the means manager or management can go to the view team chat, and they can see each and everything. Suppose I want to see the Meenakshi chat, so I can click on here. So each and every chat will be there. Whom that has been chat, and what is the chat. So that will be listed over here. So we have given the option here. Now, so this ticket option is over. Now I'm just moving to the AMC option, how to manage the AMC annual maintenance contract. So I'd like to know from you people, this you are with me, or I have left behind any of you, or you are understanding whatever I'm just trying to transfer the knowledge. So please reply me in the chat so that I can ensure and that also can energize me, and I can start the another portion of the knowledge transfer. Please, I'm waiting for. क्या हुआ, सारे सो गए? Okay. Great. It means that still people listening. Now, great, 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 great. Thank you so much for your reply. Now, what will happen? I'm just covering to the next portion. Annual maintenance contract. How to manage annual maintenance contract in the war. So we have added letter earlier. Actually, when we are developing this application, so we added only the ticketing part and chat part. Then we came in. We came to know that this is also the most important part of any service organization, and we have been requested to add the AMC management, and also we have done the same for our customer. So, for example, what is AMC? AMC means annual maintenance contract. Annual maintenance contract means any type of contract with the company and the customer. Okay, and both party are engaged to deliver something within that defined period of time. So that is called contract. If it is annually, so we call it annual maintenance contract. Most of the cases we have seen, this term is very much used in IT segment. Okay, if you are using any hardware for any of any company you are purchasing from there, so they sometimes, okay, you call engineer on call that time, and they will charge for that particular visit. And sometimes you, if you have a number of customers, so you have a contract, you can have a contract with the service provider company, IT service provider company, and they will charge some the set of amount, and thereafter you can uh, take service from them whenever you need. So you don't need to pay per visit and all. So this kind of contracts are maintenance contract. And some companies also using for the software AMCs, or some people are also using for the contractual services, different kind of contractual services. Here now I'll put here, I'll go to the add new AMC. For example, I'm today I'm signing contract with one of my customer. Okay, what will happen? I'll select here that particular customer, for example, Smart Computer Private Limited. Now I'll put the category of the service for which I have signed the, or I'm going to sign, for example, web development. Then here I can put the software. Okay, so you can select actually at the time of the setting of this module, we have to fill the service category and name, and also accordingly your relevant service category and service name will be displayed in that case. Sorry. Now this is contract start date. Okay, so we can put that contract start date whenever, for example, today's 8th is going to be start on today, and this will end up at the next 8th of 22, 21, 22, 22. I'll select and I'll select the 8th where it is 8th 22. So now this contract will expire on 8th of Jan 2022. Uh, we discussed in the beginning when we were discussing in the module setting and all. So Borg sends some notification alerts uh, just before 15 days of expiry of this contract to the in the form of mail. Okay, so the it you can set the frequency of mail, whether 3 mails, 2 mails, how many mails you want to set you can also set. Then here you can enter here the AMC amount, what is the contract amount, and then installment date, start date, this installment end date. What is this? From here it is it seems okay for you. Okay, the we have entered the customer service category, contract start, contract and contract amount. Now what is this installment? We have seen in some organizations that some people do not pay in advance for for that particular contract. So what we have done the option, for example, they have chosen then they will pay in 2 installment, or they will pay in 3 installment or 4 installment, whatever it is. So it now again it becomes very difficult for the company to track the means due amount when and how to charge from that particular customer. Then what to do? What company will do, what as a company what you will do, you will put the installment date from which date that installment being started, and the first installment will be on that particular day when you are starting the installment, and the installment date, and you can put the number of installment. Once you'll put the number of installment, here it will calculate how many installments and what is the installment amount. For example, here I'm putting the same for 1 year installment end date, and here I'm putting contract value of 50,000. Okay, and I'm putting 4 installment. Then what will be the installment value? 12,500. So what will happen when, if you are using the installment system and your customer is not paying uh, in one shot, so what you can do, you can discuss with your customer then when you are supposed to pay. So customer may offer the quarterly or half yearly, even monthly payment cycle. In that case, accordingly you have to mention here the number of installment over here. Then accordingly system will calculate, and make sure when the first installment will be on this day, and then the equal interval. Okay, you can all, and the system also can communicate to that person, and that also can remind you when that installment is going to be due. Okay, for example, uh, for easy understanding, I'm just taking 12 monthly. Okay, the customer will pay monthly. What 50,000 value of contract is there, and if I'm just doing the 12 installments, what will happen? 4,166 value will be there, and the system will remind to your customer and you when this installment uh, will be due. So first installment will be due today. The second one 8th of 8th of Feb. Then the third one is 8th of March. This kind of installment will be there. I'll show you where to display these all things. Now whatever contract is being done with that customer, so that also can be explained in a detail, so that because the based on the contract, our team is is bound to provide services to that particular customer. What things are covered, or anything, whatever is you want, you can mention in the detail. In case of IT hardware, so you also can mention the model number, serial number of the hardware covered under the MC, because sometimes the customer do not take the AMC for all equipments of that kind, and they take sometimes undue advantage, because we have seen practically with some customers. And I can submit the contract, and what will happen once I'll submit the contract, then it will be displayed like this, minus AMC, like this. Now you can say this is you can say this is a complete list of the annual maintenance contract what we have with the customer, and this is a service name, and this is a start date and date, and this is a contract value. So now I know what is the contract value of my total contract. In this case, this is a value of total contract. Okay, now you can see here, if I want to filter how many contacts are in open status, so I can also track. If I want to track how many contracts have been renewed, so I can also do the same. And once contract date is over, so the system automatically set the status of that particular contract to the expired. Okay, so you also can track, and I'll show you the reports. You also can track how many contracts are going to expire in your company on that particular month, right? So that also can be tracked. So each and everything reports are there, a lot of reports are there. Now if I'm just, for example, tracking how many status are expired, so I'll put on search. So there are two contracts are expired. So immediately, because I have seen in the service company, and so many things are happens in the company day to day, support team is engaged, but nothing have been mentioned in the proper way. And if even some organization I have seen, they are maintaining the Excel sheet and all, is still that Excel sheet is not being tracked by the management, because it again becomes a little bit unfriendly. Then when Excel sheet will be open, then that person has to apply in a filter and all, and it's not that much easy actually, that is not that much user friendly. So it remains untrackable. So here, even though such kind of systems you also can track and manage from your mobile also. So in fact, we don't have complete mobile app, but still you can open no in your mobile browser and you can track. So this is a contract summary, and you can edit the contract. If you want to change something to the contract, so you can change. And apart from that, you also can set the status. For example, the contract has been expired today, but customer and you definitely, you will make a call tomorrow that your contract has been expired. So they may be not noticing your mail alert and all, and you may also not have time to interact just before the expiry. So customer, what customer reaction will be there? Oh, my contract expired. In that case, he will immediately pay the due amount of your contract, and he may renew that one. So in that case, you can set the renew status of that particular contract and you can update. Like this, you can start the updating and managing the AMC contract. Okay. Now, uh, when we started the installment option, we showed it how to track. So go to the AMC dues management. You can say, based on the number of installments we have set at the time of rewarding the contract or signing the contract, system has distributed that amount in equal installment. And in that case, uh, this one here in the due AMC amount, all due statement will be lying here. So you can also, anybody can track how much amount is due and when it is due and when to be collected, and how much amount to be collected on that particular month, and whom. Okay, so customer name also will be there. So in that case, for example, you want to track here that what is my projected AMC renewal amount. So you can also track based on the date here. Okay, due date. So this is a filter of due date. So you can also track based on date, based on the status, or based on the service name. You can track from here also, and how much the amount is due. You also track. So our customers are enjoying this one, and in that case, there is very less chances that any amount can be missed to collect in a time. Now we have also given over here this one add log. For example, the you have lot of this kind of contracts and installments. So you can appoint a person, then you have to follow to collect that amount. And what will happen if some, for example, he is following that particular company for that particular due amount. So he will click on here, okay, and he can put the follow-up logs also, so that you also can be ensured that particular guy, if that amount has not been received or not recovered, then what was the reason, what is the reason, okay, and if it is done, then how much effort that guy is putting to collect the money from the customer. So this kind of actually is tired. So this kind of things are required for, very much required for the management of the company. So that can be also done from here. So this is all about the AMC management. And in fact, actually we have, I think, very less time, or almost we have covered. So I'm just covering some reports, okay, in very short time. And here you can manage the SLA, okay, and go to the analytical reports. There are so many reports over here. So the first report is this is a pie chart, okay. The pie chart gives you a entire, review of your service team or service department, in fact, okay. For example, if we'll see service executive versus closed ticket, how many tickets have been closed by your support, yeah, service executive. For example, this is your service team ID, okay. So how many tickets that ID has been closed? So one ticket that guy has been closed. So what is the, the performance of the support team? So how many tickets they have closed, and how much ticket they have closed in time? So these kind of parameters you can ensure that your team is working well, and the work is has been distributed. And the same way you can also monitor for other employee also. Here, based on the priority, for example, you can also track that how many tickets are lying of the critical priority. And thereafter you can go into the detail why this is happening. Means 35 tickets, 35 tickets, and 28% of total tickets reported, okay, generated. It means that 28% of tickets are very much, have been very much critical over a period of time. It means that that is very much dangerous situation of the company. It means that your either implementation team is not working well, or your that support team is not working well, or it means customers, some system is not up to the mark, you can say. Why this we are receiving critical tickets from the customer. So this has to be a part of investigation in your company. This is a ticket status based ratio. How many tickets we have with that particular status, open ticket, how many we have assigned ticket, how much we have closed ticket, how many we have customer pending ticket. This is status wise, this is escalation wise. Means how many tickets are lying in level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. So this is a simple review, charts. Apart from that, we have ticket summary in details. Okay, ticket summary in detail means we can uh, from here actually there's a list of tickets, and you can filter as per your requirement, your support team wise, your status wise, your category wise, then date and all. So you can go into detail if any things which is not part of your standard operating system, and you find something offers, so you can go into detail, and you can guide your support team accordingly. So this is a department wise summary. How many tickets are having department, for example, account departments in particular duration. How many tickets have been received in our account department, okay, and how many tickets have been closed, or or which status. then sales department, service department, and other departments. So you can track department wise, you can track priority wise. Okay. And you can also track the contract status also. How many contracts means AMCs has been signed in, okay, in particular duration, correct? So this is on the based of the start date of contract. So if you are putting the start one, then end one, so in that particular duration you can find out how many AMCs and how many annual maintenance contracts have been started in your company. The same way, if we go to the AM6 expiry report, so you can track how many contracts are being expired in a particular duration. So you also can track the same. And this is the ticket and task report, AMC status reports also there. Okay, and we have generated two more reports that is more relevant, ticket and task. So we have another modules task. So we have linked uh, the service desk module and the task module together, and that can be produced the common report, a relevant report to track the employee productivity based on the tickets opened by the customer. So that also can be tracked, and this is a salesperson report. How many, for example, uh, in service companies, salesperson is accountable for entire the setup and then delivery of that particular customer. So he acts as a account manager for that particular customer. In such organizations, that can also be tracked. Then you can select here particular salesperson, that particular salesperson, how many tickets are being received. So accordingly, that you can interact with your account manager. If more and more tickets are being received, and those tickets of the due to the some issues in the in your services, it means that that is a matter of concern. So based on your the organization's nature and all, so that can be tracked, that can be monitored, right? So later on we can understand, we keep just conducting this kind of training now. We have started in 2021, and every week or fortnightly we'll be having one separate training. We'll be covering different aspect of every module. So definitely, I hope actually all things will be cleared. So this is all about today's knowledge transfer session for service desk module. If you now I'm open for the question. If you have any question on that, so please you can unmute yourself and you can ask, so that you can we can take and close the same. So anybody has any question? Let me see in the chat. Either if you're not able to unmute or you have some network issue, you can also type in the chat, uh, or you can write in the chat, or you can unmute or speak if you have any doubt or any questions. Okay, I think mm, that's a simple module, and everybody might have understood. And I'm also most welcome all my participants of today's. If any have any doubts, so my email that you can send in my email ID, and I'll be happy to connect and solve your and address your concern. So if you don't have any question, please type no, so that I can ensure whether you have any question or not, because nobody is coming out. Okay, great. So I've received no. So okay, so many no's. So okay, so let's call it a day, and let's close this session, today's session here, and we'll be coming back with another module and in detail the same way. Thank you so much. And thank you for attending today's session. I hope actually everybody has enjoyed, and I have given the the required information of the service desk module. Thank you so much.